What's going on? This is Willie Jones, and I'm hanging out with the boy Rob on Front Row Live.
Reunited, man. It's been 6 years.
6 years, almost.
Willie Jones, man. You weren't even 18.
Yeah, I was 17 at the time. XFactor 2012.
So crazy. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad to still see you pushing your music. I'm glad to see you still pushing the sound that you were trying to open up an avenue for. And, it seems like you're doing great, man.
Yeah, I mean, just sticking to it and not giving up. I knew back then what I wanted to do, and I commend myself for still sticking to what I said I was gonna do. So yeah.
Right now, before we actually talk about Road Waves, like that transition from finishing X Factor to now creating the music that you do, like, did you feel that you were still, or do you feel like you're still kind of discovering your sound, or did you leave X Factor knowing exactly the kind of sound that you want to do, and that's what you're doing?
In my head, I knew what I wanted to do, but I just didn't have the resources, or I just wasn't doing original music long enough to know exactly what it was. But I knew in my head, like I heard, I saw it, and then not too soon after X Factor, Sam Hunt started popping, Florida Georgia Line started popping, and I got influences from them to, just continue to grow my craft and make it into what it is now. So yeah.
Right. Now that you have, Road Waves was dropped last month. There's a couple songs in there that kind of get lost. For example, they give me like a, country meets R&B kind of vibe. Is that like a mindset that you have when you go into the studio and you're creating these kind of songs? Do you have like not just country in mind? Do you have other genres like like R&B?
I think it's just something that just naturally happens. I don't think I go into the studio and think like, oh, I want to make a country R&B with a little pop song. It's just something that I just literally just do. It just happens. Just like this outfit. I didn't think about it that much. I got on plaid bell bottoms and Chelsea boots with it, but I didn't even think about it. I literally was just like, oh, I want to wear this, and this, and cool. And that's what happens in the studio. It's just like I just do what I do.
Right.
But sometimes I do think about it, but mostly I don't. Sometimes I do go back and be like, I can make this a little more twangier.
Right.
But usually it just flows out of me.
You have, I mean. When we first spoke, like you did talk a lot about, coming from the gospel world. Do you feel like, or how do you feel like that kind of impacted the way that you create music today?
Yeah, man. I mean, growing up, that's kind of like the first music that I was exposed to. Like my dad led worship at church. I would sit in the pews and watch him lead. And just like my mom wouldn't let us listen to anything else, we would have to sneak and listen to NSYNC. But I think gospel just the faith that's connected to it, and just like it's just a different type of feeling. So I think just the feeling, and like even when I perform, I really just like to get lost in it. And I think it's the same way with a lot of gospel singers. They just get lost in the worship and the praise.
Right.
And it definitely just inspires me. It's another genre of music that that I feel like I connect to, and I what's the word I'm looking for? That word, yeah.
You guys know what it is. So when going into studios to create Road Waves, like what kind of producer, or who was the producer for this record? Is this a producer that you've worked with over the years? Is it someone that you wanted to try differently this time around?
Yeah, this was produced by my boy Sean Cook. We met like before Road Waves even came about. We got in a session, and just really talented producer. He produced a lot of Christian stuff, but he also has a background in pop, and he make the dirtiest trap beats, hip hop. And he's just a good dude, and we just really had a great chemistry. So Sean Cook, that's the boy. He got the sauce. But he did the whole project, and even the new original stuff that we're working on the album, I'm working with him closely, and it's some cool stuff.
Now, how do you feel your writing process has kind of like evolved over the last couple of years?
I write more for sure. It's like a muscle. I used to not even think I could write, and then I would write, but I still would kind of doubt my skills. And even now, sometimes I'm like, I can be a little better, but it's just a muscle, so you just work it. Right. But Yeah, I mean, I'm getting older. My birthday is coming up September 23rd. I don't know if this out, but I'm about to be 24. It's lit. But yeah, it's just like just with life and different experiences, you have different things to talk about. So I even think now, like this past month, a lot of craziness has happened, and I've been writing about it. So yeah, my writing process has changed because I'm at a different point of life, and I'm a little more confident than I was when I first started writing.
Right. And that's one thing with country, that country I feel is a genre where you kind of have to get vulnerable to create this kind of music. So what was that like, your first couple songs that you created that you had to, open up to a producer or a writer that you just met right there for that session? Like, what was that experience like for you?
I remember my first original song that I ever recorded, and it was like when I was off of XFactor. Like I had just got kicked off. It was probably like 3 weeks after. My cousin produces in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael Todd. And
That name sounds so familiar, by the way.
yeah,
I don't know why.
he a pastor. He like a youth pastor, but he doing his thing. But yeah, I had a session with him, and he was just like, "What do you want a Willie Jones song to sound like? Like, what do you want to talk about?" And I was just kind of still devastated from X Factor, and I just wanted to write a song to lift myself up, and I wrote this song called "I Can Do Anything," and yeah, I got really vulnerable, but it came out beautiful. And yeah, you definitely have to be vulnerable in country, or just real, just like real. And that's one reason I like country, because it's real. It's like they talk about family, they talk about heartbreak, they talk about boozing, they talk about getting drunk on a plane. You know what I'm saying? You could just talk about whatever. So yeah, yeah.
So in that sense, what kind of inspired Road Waves?
Road Waves, where the name came about, because I'm new to LA. I've been living out here for like a year, but I was visiting like a year prior from Louisiana. And just the duality of home down south, the road, the red dirt, and coming out to the waves and the palm trees and the lights and the glam. But I'm from small town Louisiana. So just like the two worlds meeting, and then at the same time with what I'm doing with music, I'm clashing genres, the R&B and the hip hop mixed with the country and the folk. So yeah, they're just I think just me moving out here inspired it, and just transition.
Do you feel like that, finding that perfect fit between all those genres, do you feel like that's been challenging you every time you've gone into studio? And if so, like, what is it about it that's kind of challenging you?
I don't think I think what challenges me is when I overthink it.
Yeah.
Like when I, because like I said, sometimes I do go in the studio and I'm like, maybe this could be a little twangier, maybe I could do this, or maybe I could appeal to this side more, maybe I should appeal to this side more. But it's like, yeah, I think what's challenging is when I'm not true to myself. So I just want to stay true to Willie Jones and not try to please people. It's cool when it happens naturally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, what song do you feel like kind of challenged you from this EP?
From this EP, Windows Down, actually, because
Which is the new single.
it's the new single. Yeah, I wrote Windows Down a couple years ago, and it was produced, but it wasn't like up to my standards and what I knew it could be. So we never put it out, and then I came out here, and the acoustic tape came up, and we put it on Road Waves, and it was acoustic before, and it was cool, but it just it wasn't what it is now. And so we went back in the studio, me, Sean, and Johnny, and we were like, we need a track on the album to just be the standout. And we were like, Windows Down. And we reproduced it. I recut the vocal for like the 6th time. We got a dobro player in here, and we just made it what it is. And I'm so happy we kept nitpicking at it, because it's a dope song now.
Right. Now, I mean, it's great that you have the producers, but it sounds like you're also, taking control of what kind of sounds you want, how you want this record to sound sonically. How important is that for you on every track that you create?
It's very important, because I think with my style and like my choice of music and what I'm creating, it hasn't been done before. And I think if I just like kick my feet up and let other people handle it, it won't be Willie Jones. It won't be me.
Right.
So I think I definitely have to take charge, and of course it's a collaborative effort, but take charge in what I want and what this is gonna be.
Right.
You know.
As you kind of mentioned, like you're already working on that album. Do you see the sound in the album changing from the sound on this EP? Do you see any change there?
Yeah. So of course, because the Road Waves is acoustic,
Right.
so like most of the songs are kind of broken down. It's not really that produced out, but yeah, a little more production. Definitely taking some chances, just pushing the boundaries a little more. But still good writing, still good stories, still country, still authentic, still Willie Jones, but just pushing the boundary a little bit.
And how do you when writing country, how do you perfect your writing in country? Do you pay attention to other country artists? Do you read a lot? Like how do you master that kind of?
Yeah, I definitely haven't mastered it. It's something I'm still working on. But yeah, I definitely listen to other artists. I think that's one reason I was drawn to country so much is because of the writing and how just clever it is and how real it is. But yeah, just listening to other artists, listening to not even just country, just rappers. I was listening to Kendrick this morning. I was like, this damn album is like one of the best albums of all time. And I was like listening, like locking in and like listening to the words. But yeah, and also you say reading. I literally the other day was like, I need to read more. I literally said that. And so yeah, just reading.
Because you're getting old.
Right, yeah. Never die, feel forever young. But yeah, just reading and just trying to challenge myself to be better. I was telling somebody the other day, I don't think there's such thing as the best because there's always room for improvement.
Right. You always have to grow.
Yeah, I always have to grow. So yeah, I don't think I can perfect it, but I definitely will get better and better at it.
And what are the plans for some live shows for you? Because I feel like there haven't been that many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're working on getting me booked with an agency to start touring, but so far it's just like little spot dates here and there. I was just in Nashville. I'm headed to Seattle next week to do some stuff. I'm performing this Friday in LA. Just doing little stuff here and there, but when that tour starts, it's gonna be lit.
To close it off, for those that haven't heard of your music yet, like what is Willie Jones or who is Willie Jones all about? Why do you create music?
Man, I just create music to just spread, and I really mean it. Just use my gift because, like, if I wasn't doing music, I for real do not know. I have no idea what I would be doing. But yeah, just use my gift that I was blessed with, and just honor God with it, and just like spread love and like spread this message of just love and equality, man. Like real talk. That's really what I'm about. Yeah, just use my gift and just spread it. Willie Jones is all about love and positivityness, man, and individualityness and loveness and dopeness and crunkness
And anythingness.
and freshness and swagness.
We can keep going. We can keep going.
Keep going. But yeah, man, just doing me. And yeah, for those of you who haven't heard the music, it is country, but it has like a little southern swag to it, a little hip hop, a little trap, a little R&B, and it's super me. It's super me.